do you just not care?
Of course we believe the victim. We believe all victims, every last one of them, forever and ever until the end of time. And if we are proven correct in that belief, Fred will be terminated as well. But none of us were in those rooms. None of us can say with any certainty at this moment what happened, except for Fred.
That's because the other person, Hannah Schoenfeld, died this morning.
Except for Fred, who steadfastly maintains his innocence. If we find evidence that any of that was true, we will extend zero tolerance.
Okay, well, that's horseshit, but okay. Well, you can't terminate my contract without just cause. And all I did was give the truth some oxygen.
The truth? Look, here's the truth. We suspect Fred might not be innocent, but we know you're guilty of taking over UBA's airwaves, of allowing wild allegations to be made against the CEO of the network, and of physically locking him out of his own control room. Which, by the way, is also a serious fire hazard.
The fire hazard.
That was pirate television, and it has no place on our network.
Cybil, sorry. Hey, I know we've been trading calls. I apologize. How are you?
I've been better. There are pictures in page 6 of Bradley out getting ice cream. She doesn't look too sick. This is just embarrassing. She's making us look like idiots.
Well, Well, you can be sick and want ice cream.
She couldn't be bothered to come in for the better part of a month. And now she's parading around like she hasn't a care in the world, like she's footloose and fancy-free.
Well, Cybil, maybe she was just,
Whatever you're going to say. I don't exactly give a fuck. I know you don't want to get into a pissing match with me, Corey. All I do is piss. Fire Bradley. I don't even know why we have to have a conversation about it. Fire her.
Cybil, if I could get you to clear the room.
Thank you. Well, this is a new one on me. I can only imagine.
I need your help. Fred is planning nasty stories about Hannah Schoenfeld in the press. It's gross. I don't care if her father is suing us. Frankly, I understand.
Look, I get it. Losing a child is unimaginable pain. But it is not our responsibility to make it okay for this poor guy. And trust me, it won't make it okay for him. Nothing will. So what do you want me to do about it?
I want you to talk to Fred and tell him to kill the stories. He's not going to listen to me and your friends.
That guy's not my friend. The last time I talked to him, he sat me down and told me that you were objectively the best business decision. Now, I really don't think so. You let the talent walk all over you, if you can call Bradley Jackson talent, and you pushed us hard to pay out Fred rather than have a truly independent investigation. That brings up all sorts of questions. Questions I don't need answered. This is a business, not a morality play, so don't lay that trip on me. If the stories he's planting aren't true, then the girl's family will have a hell of a libel case on their hands. The fact that you showed up here, rather than calling Fred directly, tells me everything I need to know about why Fred pushed so hard for you when he clearly hated you with a passion. 2 shitty peas in 1 shitty pod. I guess it's time to face the fact that actions have consequences. And I keep my temple clean. So whatever those consequences are is really none of my business. Give my regards to Fred. Oh, Stella.
Morning.
I understand you're meeting with Yanko Flores this morning.
In about 15 minutes.
And I trust you will do the right thing, that you won't let your personal involvement cloud your judgment.
My personal involvement will have nothing to do with it. All due respect, Cybil, these decisions can be made without you feeling the need to stand over me.
All due respect. I'm giving you all the respect that's due. You and Corey were brought in to clean things up, and God willing, bring some order to this place.
We fired Ray Marcus.
After it became a scandal. And you hired Alex Levy. So far we've gotten, 7 days' work? And a very public vanishing act for our money.
You should talk to Corey about it.
I'm talking to you. Talent is running roughshod over you. These aren't earthquakes, they're people. You can control them, and if you can't, you find people you can. Now, I made it very clear to Corey that it was the board's position that Bradley Jackson needed to be fired during her mystery illness. But you two just put her on air the next morning.
That is news to me.
Take some responsibility. Show some character. Corey's going to bat for you plenty. It's why you're here. So don't act like you two aren't frickin' frack.
Frickin' frack.
Oh, Christ. You're young. You're a package deal. But you can choose where your loyalty is. Who do you think's gonna be here after the bomb goes off? I'm a cockroach, Stella. I will always be here.
Getting the subscribers.
Do we have any idea what it would cost to postpone?
We're not postponing. This is a launch event, and we launch tomorrow.
I am asking, what will it cost to postpone the whole launch?
Well, if you really want those numbers, we'd have to have them
Actually,
get into it.
can you all give Cybil and me a minute alone? We are not going to postpone the event. We are not.
Corey, we see the iceberg. It doesn't make you brave to steer the ship right into it.
We're not the Titanic, Cybil. We're not a luxury liner across the Atlantic. We're a rocket ship to the moon. Okay? We're Apollo 13 if they hadn't whined to Houston and just landed on the damn moon.
Don't you think you're more Icarus than Tom Hanks?
We have Tom Hanks. Why are we going to cancel the event? Do you want me to fail?
No, of course not. I just think you will fail. The market seems to agree, unfortunately.
The whole market is down.
Not as much as we are. People are opening huge short positions against us. But I am pulling for you.
Then just let me get this off the ground. If we postpone the launch and postpone the launch event, who knows when we'll have another window?
Let me ask you something. Is this about the streaming service? Or is it about you?
They are one and the same. You're leaving?
I shouldn't have come in at all. I'm not going to risk getting sick just because our prized feminist morning anchor was horny for Chester the molester. Not blaming you. You didn't know.
Morning.
Nice of you to join us.
Space question. Massive star, runs out of fuel, can't support itself. What happens?
Becomes a black hole.
Hey, nerd, correct. Sorry I am late. I was waylaid by our resident astronaut.
Why am I getting angry calls from all of our network division heads complaining about your cost-cutting measures?
Have you ever had a happy call from a network division head?
You are cannibalizing the company to feed UBA Plus and drowning us in debt.
No, God, it's really more of a misting, a gentle sprinkling to keep us cool on a warm summer day.
We can make it work in the news division, for now. But I want to sit down and look at next quarter's projections because they're worse than we thought. And at some point, there's gonna be a mutiny.
You know, we can sit around counting beans, but wouldn't it be more fun to plant them, grow a beanstalk, and turn UBA Plus into a giant?
The giant dies in the end.
We hold the line. This is a rough patch. We'll get through it, but we can't burn through any more of our reserves. Stella, actually, I want to look over those numbers sometime this week. I need to manage the expectations of the board. So, what did Alex want? So, Corey wants to sell the network, and Marks promises to stay hands-off. Right.
That's right.
Okay. I see why you dragged me downtown tonight.
Well, I just didn't think it could wait.
Listen, Corey's way out over his skis. Billionaires like Paul Marks don't give a damn about legacy media. This is a money grab, pure and simple.
These men, they just think they're masters of the universe. And, it pisses me off.
Is that why you pulled that disappearing act? Because you were pissed off?
You know what would have happened if I went up in that rocket.
Yes, Procter & Gamble would have sent me champagne. But no, Now they're threatening to pull their ad commitments because they can't trust you to show up to work.
Oh my God, Cybil, are you kidding me? That launch was a setup. It was a promo for a deal that would have killed our credibility.
Oh, we have credibility.
Paul Marks is going to fold the news division into an algorithm or make it a mouthpiece for Hyperion. Whatever it is, we're fucked. Oh, and what if, God forbid, they move forward with the deal and the FTC doesn't approve it?
You've thought this through.
Cybil, if you take this to the board, I'll go to talent in the news division, I'll rally the troops, and we'll just shut this whole thing down.
Trust me, this deal will not happen.
Okay.
Keep this between us for now.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some time to work the board. That son of a bitch. Punish her.
Oh, I would love to. Are we going to put Alex in stocks in the town square, or are we going to go straight to the rack?
Suspend her, fine her, I don't care. Isn't the point of having a dick that you get to throw it around?
You're thinking of a frisbee.
It was a fight to get Alex back on TMS 2 days a week. A suspension is a gift.
Well, she has other shows.
That are carrying UBA plus. Hey, I like my nose. I've got no desire to spite my face.
Is Alex Levy the head of this network, or are you? Because from what I can tell, she thinks she runs this place.
Wow, you were coming in hot today, Cybil. Since when do you care about talent?
If you go rogue, you are going to pay for it. I don't care how powerful you think you are.
What if Alex had to spend more time on TMS? Ratings go up when she's on air. We could sell the bump at upfronts.
I like it.
Okay.
Fine. Let's chain Alex to the teacup.
What now?
More of your cost cutting?
I think I can negotiate them down to 25 million, maybe less.
Would our cash reserves cover that?
Wouldn't that be nice? Those reserves were plundered to fund UBA Plus.
Is there any unreleased material?
They've got some pilots and the Chris Pine thriller.
How much do we lose if that gets leaked?
Estimate is a quarter of the projected box office, so 60 million.
What about UBA Plus subscriber data?
We use a third-party vendor.
What exactly are we paying for? A summer movie which may or may not hit, some stock turbulence, few resignations.
How about the goodwill and the dignity of our employees, not to mention the company brand? Our evening news anchor. She just won a First Amendment award. She's up for a Peabody.
Then she should have known better than to make herself vulnerable to attacks of this kind. Why would we hand over millions to the criminals who just broke into our house when we can spend a fraction of that to make ourselves safe against future attacks?
I agree, but I think we can do both.
Then there's the issue of the money. Can we assume these hackers are Russian?
The signature of the hack suggests that, yes,
yeah,
but...
well, we already know that Putin sanctions cyber attacks against Western news outlets. So we may be contributing to Russia's war against Ukraine. I don't want that on my conscience. And I can't imagine any of our advertising partners would either.
I certainly don't.
Look, I think we should move to a vote. All those in favor of paying the ransom, say aye. Those opposed? Aye. Good. Leonard, dear, would you connect with our institutional investors? Mercedes, would you please reach out to those majority shareholders who weren't able to join us today? Let's send a clear message. UBA is standing strong and refusing to negotiate with terrorists. Anyone needs handholding, send them to me.
Thus spake the Iron Lady.
Leonard.
Tell who was driving in some ways.
Yes.
Hey, how'd it go?
I sure hope everyone here is comfortable with their private communications going very public.
I think we'll weather the storm.
I have to say, it was refreshing to get stabbed in the stomach instead of the back, so thanks.
Perhaps your friend Paul Marks can help stitch up the wound. For future reference, all merger and acquisition offers run through the board, of course. But I wouldn't worry about that for now. I'm sure you'll have your hands full proving to our shareholders that you can still run this company.
Oh, well, I will be fully embracing UBA's new era of radical transparency. Everything that ever was and will be out in the open. I think it's going to be fun. Privacy, come on, that's so 20th century.
You just don't ever stop spinning, do you? You are CEO because you staged a coup. That's not leadership. That's opportunism. You walk through these halls with this unswerving belief that you and you alone can fix it. I've seen quite a few men come to this company with that same God complex. Eventually, you all fail.
You're hiding.
Hello, Kyle.
Is he expecting you?
Not at all.
Wow, Cybil, what a surprise. Don't tell me, let me guess, you forgot your white hood, right? I'll have Kyle check the lost and found, okay?
Do you know, when you became CEO, my expectations were low. But it turns out I overestimated you.
You missed me.
Whatever Paul Marks is paying for the possession of your soul, I will double it. Name your price. You want a chunk of my new shares? They're yours.
Well, mystery solved. I had my money on Miss Scarlet, and it turns out it was Mrs. White in the conservatory with an LLC.
Did you really think that I would sit back while a bunch of thugs destroy my family's company?
You don't have the votes to stop the sale.
Yet. I will keep fighting till the bitter end. Believe me.
Cybil, by this time Friday, UBA will be the biggest network in the country with the widest reach and the deepest pockets. You need to embrace the inevitable. This is a win.
Oh my God. You don't know. You really don't know.
What don't I know?
Okay. I ran into Genevieve Micklin the other day at the salon. And normally I avoid her. I mean, who cares about her horses and her ridiculous blonde highlights? But she had words for me. And she was all too happy to rub it in my face.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Paul Marks is stripping the network for parts. And Fred is helping him price the sale. Sports division, content library, the studio, the news. They're dismantling the entire company, including your precious streamer. Do I have your attention now?
Who knew Chip Black's F-bombs would save the day?
2 major shareholders called me an hour ago. They said the payout wasn't worth all the bad press. They're voting no.
I used to hate no, now I love it.
Yeah, Mercedes is still on the fence, though. She's concerned about the financial implications of rejecting Paul's bid.
Tell her we just shook down my favorite golf buddy for $8 billion.
So Reed came through. What did you promise him?
Well, let's just say you might have to sell a Picasso.
Corey.
Cybil, this is fun. We're gonna kill a billionaire.
Yeah, I'm hanging up now.